A very good afternoon to you. This is Lunchtime News and I'm Sandro Ferdinando. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. President to hold bilateral discussions with the German government today. Protesters cleared and Totalanga opened for traffic. State Minister comments on the meeting of local government politicians in Negombo.
Horu, Haduro, Mangolakaryo, Komiskaryo, Pagakaryo, Sialama, Anne Horugude, Polurgude.
Former UN Secretary General Butos Gali dies. The protest that took place on the new bridge in Totalanga against the demolition of the houses was called off this morning. Now, according to our correspondents at the location, the protesters allowed traffic to flow again following discussions with the police.
Occupants of Kajumavatta commenced the protest against the demolition of their houses last evening. The protests continued until the early hours of today. The group vehemently protested against them being evicted from their homes and their houses being demolished. Traffic on the Totalanga bridge came to a complete standstill since last evening due to the protests. Heavy traffic was reported in a number of surrounding areas as well. SSP Ajit Rovana, who is in charge of the Colombo North area, arrived at the location this morning and held discussions with the protesters.
Thereafter, the protesters filed a complaint at the Grand Pass police with regard to the demolition of their houses. Our correspondents at the location said that the group was then taken for a discussion at the Ministry of Megapolis and Western Development. In more local news, the 208th edition of the Newsfirst classroom workshop commenced at the Kuliapita Central College this morning. The Newsfirst classroom program was launched in a bid to enhance the media literacy among the school students across the country. The Newsfirst team that reached the Kuliapita Central College this morning raised awareness on the operations of a newsroom with the practical sessions using audio and video equipment. The students participated in the workshop with much enthusiasm. The Department of Prisons has decided to use the police K9 units in order to prevent narcotics from moved into the Balikada prison. Commissioner General of Prisons Nishant Dhanasinghe, speaking to Newsfirst, noted that he had forwarded a request in this regard to the Inspector General of Police. The Commissioner General added that the police K9 unit will be used to research operations that enter the prison, and he also added that measures have been taken to curtail an over-the-phone extortion racket operating from within the prison. Now, at a media briefing yesterday, the Consumer Affairs Authority has declared a Consumer Protection Week to mark World Consumer Rights Day, which falls on the 15th of March.
The week from the 14th to the 20th of March will be declared as the Consumer Protection Week. The Consumer Affairs Authority notes that during this week, the general public will be able to obtain services under a concessionary rate.
There are benefits the consumers can reap by traders. We have received a considerable number of the feedback in this regard.
Canteens located in the Balanguda town were inspected yesterday. Members of the Office of the Sabaragama Provincial Director of Health Services, officials at the Office of the Director of Health Services in Ratnapura and public health inspectors of the Balanguda Urban Council were present there. 14 canteens were identified of selling food that is unsuitable for consumption and were given a final warning. 14 days were given for those canteens in order to rectify the issue. The director of the Sabaragama Provincial Health Services said that legal action will be taken against those who fail to act based on the instructions given.
We destroyed food that is unsuitable for consumption. Around 14 institutions were subject for inspection by us today. Some traders were issued warnings and were instructed to rectify the issue.
A canteen at a leading school in Suryawawa was raided by the Consumer Affairs Authority yesterday. The raid was conducted following information received that the canteen was selling food at a higher price and without a price list. An official said that legal action would be taken on the matter.
Moving back to some local news now, Dilip Vedarachi, the State Minister of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources, speaking in Tangol yesterday, commented on the local government representative meeting that was convened by former President Mahinda Rajapaksa in Negombo.
Itabu නායකයෙක් වන මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ විශේෂ වැඩමුළුවක් ලංකාවේම ඉන්න ප්‍රාදේශ සභා නගර සභා සභාපතිවරු.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa had convened a meeting by summoning all the members of the Pradeshia Sabhas, urban councils and municipal councils. He had discussed his political journey as a political leader. I must say that of 1,141 members, only 500 had attended that meeting. The gang of thieves consists of only 500 persons. They are the coconut thieves. The person who raped the 100th woman is in Akurasa. He too is in that group. That group comprises of thieves, enemies, burglars, extortionists and coconut thieves.
දින 100 කාන්තාව 99ක් දූෂණය කරලා 100 වෙනි එක දූෂණය කරේ සභාපතිවරයා අකුරැස්සේ. ඒ ගොඩේ ඉන්නේ හොරු, හදුරෝ, මංකොල්ලකාරයෝ, කොමිස්කාරයෝ, පගාකාරයෝ ඒ සියල්ලම අන්නේ හොරු ගොඩේ ඉන්නේ, පොල් හොරු ගොඩේ ඉන්නේ.
This event was held to present computers to students who are visually impaired and passed the ordinary examinations in Tangol.
In more sports news, a soccer player is accused of fatally shooting a referee during an amateur match in Argentina after getting a red card. The Guardian reports the player got a gun from his bag after getting kicked out of the match, returned to the field and killed 48-year-old Cesar Flores. Now, Flores was reportedly shot 3 times, once each in the head, chest and neck. Another player, Walter Zarate, was also injured during the shooting, but he is expected to be fine. Meanwhile, in some cricket news, the second one-day international between the Sri Lanka women and the Indian women is currently underway at the JSCA International Stadium Complex in Ranchi, India. Batting first, the Sri Lanka women posted 178 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in their 50 overs. Dilani Mandodara top scored for Sri Lanka with an unbeaten 43. Deepthi Sharma bagged 4 wickets for 23 runs for the Indian women. And now in our top story for this, President Maithripala Sirisena, who is on an official visit to Germany, is scheduled to attend bilateral talks with the German government today.
Today, President Maithripala Sirisena is scheduled to meet with the 3 high citizens in the Federal Republic of Germany, including the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Speaker Professor Dr. Norbert Lammert and Federal President of Germany Joachim Gauck.
Today is a very important day as President Sirisena will be holding bilateral talks with the German government. Prior to this, President will meet the President of Germany, Speaker and German Chancellor Angela Merkel. Angela Merkel will be participating with President Sirisena during the bilateral talks, which would further strengthen the bilateral relations, exports, development of the industrial sector and the GSP Plus concession that Sri Lanka has lost. President Sirisena also also hopes to meet the Foreign Minister of Germany. And prior to that, the German ambassador to Sri Lanka said that the Foreign Minister is aware of the future course of action of Sri Lanka as it will also benefit Germany.
The objective of this visit is to further strengthen the bilateral relations and friendship between Sri Lanka and Germany. Following the visit to Germany, the President and his entourage will leave for Austria for a 2-day state visit.
And with that, we wrap up Lunchtime News. Do join us again next hour with more news.